I served the Lord as a missionary in Venezuela for 13 years. When I arrived in 1999, Hugo Chavez was elected president of the country. For the next 13 years, we saw the destruction of one of the most beautiful places that God has ever created because of socialism.
This is everyday reality for the poorest in Venezuela. The country's economic crisis has turned into a humanitarian one, leaving people more and more desperate. Jose Godoy is an unemployed construction worker. He says his hungry children cry to him, asking for food, and he has no choice but to hunt through the trash with many others.
Vemos miles reventando la basura para poder comer.
There are thousands of us looking through the trash to eat. Thousands, not one of us or two or four. There are thousands who are on the streets looking for something to eat to survive. Sometimes when you line up, there's nothing left. You have to go home without anything.
The Venezuelan government has refused aid from international organizations, including the UN. That's hard to swallow for people like Sanchez and Godoy, who now have no choice but to scavenge for food to survive.
Because my wife and daughters were Venezuelans, many times we were restricted because we would not agree with Chavez's socialistic endeavors. It was a battle, but God was faithful. Our last 2 years in Venezuela, as the Apostle Paul said, our flesh had no rest. We were troubled on every side. Without were fightings, and within there were fears. Today, Venezuela is a country that is absolutely destroyed. My wife and I have had dear friends die. Just the other day, my wife's aunt called and said 150 people died in the hospital when the electricity was cut off for 4 days. Venezuela today is suffering. 15% of the people are getting their food out of the garbage. Over 3 million refugees have left the country. I was speaking to several pastors last week, especially with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law who are serving in Venezuela. They give food to over 1,000 children every week. The need is so great. He shared with me a story about a pastor and his wife for a month eating yuca and water. God's people are suffering in Venezuela. This fellowship of 20 pastors needs immediate help. When Paul was persecuting the churches, he was really hurting the Lord Jesus Christ. There are churches that are suffering at the hands of socialists in Venezuela today. God is calling upon churches to meet the need of these pastors in a unique way. We need to take immediate action. We're working with 20 pastors and their families, and among them they're giving food to over 2,000 children. We're asking churches in America to give a one-time gift of $200 to help us reach our goal. We'll be able to purchase the food, box it, and ship it from Miami straight to them in Venezuela. This will meet the need for 3 months. Not only are we working to take immediate action, but we also are working to ship a container into Colombia to continue to help with these needs. This is going to help especially with medicines and with vitamins and with clothes and Bibles and gospel literature for the hundreds of converts that are coming to Christ. Thirdly, we have a long-range goal, and that is to establish a distribution center in Colombia. The Fellowship of Pastors in Venezuela are going to trust God to reach the next generation.
When Brother Tim Cart came to us and shared his burden about Venezuela, as well as the personal testimonies of those Christians he knows there, it was easy for Direct Line Ministry to begin to pray and ask the Lord what we could do. Direct Line Ministry supplies missionaries around the world containers of Bibles and other material. This is a great opportunity to be an encouragement to our Christian brothers and sisters down there. Please consider giving and helping with this immediately. You can do that in these different phases, but Direct Line Ministry will be involved in all 3 phases.
Pray and help meet this need today. You can call me for more information. My phone number is 817-360-8100. or you can call Brother Tom Green. His number is 502-264-7763. We're going to work hard to keep you up to date with what God is doing to meet this need in Venezuela. Thank you for your help and prayers.